Dear students, today we are going to discuss the third subtopic on our syllabus, environmental studies. This third subtopic is about mineral resources, its use, exploitation, and environmental effects. A mineral is pure inorganic substance that occurs naturally in Earth's crust. More than 2000 minerals have been identified, and most of these are inorganic, which are formed by various combination of elements. So minerals are naturally occurring elements or compounds that have been formed through slow inorganic processes. So it is not in our single day minerals are formed. Minerals take a huge time to reach that particular stage. These minerals have chemical compositions, crystal, hardness, color, and opacity, and they are classified as such by scientists with serious effort. Any civilization is characterized by its strength on mineral resources. All materials, the materials namely fuels, metals, water, etc., needed for modern society are derived from Earth's crust, whether directly or indirectly. These minerals have a definite structure and composition, and it is qualified as minerals only if they pass these two categories. So, in modern society, as I outlined earlier, iron and steel minting technology is very important because using that technology, the black box of the aeroplanes are designed. So, based on this designing, the speed of the aircraft and its efficiency is determined, and therefore, iron and steel technology of a country is very important. And therefore, if an aircraft falls down, the country concerned immediately captures the black box, and it does not allow other country to access the black box. For the entire technology will be revealed if they capture the black box and tended to open that. So richness of mineral resources also categorize the strength of a country. However, these minerals are exploited by establishing mines in various sectors. So now let us discuss what are the general impacts of mining on the environment, because we are chiefly dealing about environmental studies and therefore we have to look into that aspect mainly. So energy consumption. Mining requires vast amount of energy. The ore and rock has to be transported to a great distance by large vehicle, which requires a large amount of energy in the form of gasoline. Underground mines need extensive hoisting system to transport the minerals, which also require energy. Controlling the temperature of mines deep underground is very energy consuming as well. So some of the minerals are available deep in the ground, and in the deepest level the temperature is beyond human capacity to tolerate, and therefore the technology is used to balance the temperature using large quantum of energy. Pneumatic equipment, which is used a lot in the mining industry, also takes energy. Smelting ores and metal requires lots of energy. So large quantum of energy is spent on account of mining. So this energy, if available, can contribute for the richness of human society in the future, but it has been largely exploited and spent for mining activities. Similarly, air. Mining has a great effect on the quality of the air. Since mines need to blast through rock to get to an ore, dust may be produced in the process. So blasting or even exploding causes a lot of trouble. So particularly you have the effect of sound pollution, and also there are other impacts. So take for example the location on the way to Sangaram Koil from Tirunelveli. So there are certain mines. So sand quarrying or rock quarrying is taking place in that region, and there the neighborhood is severely affected, and the water is contaminated. And not only that, due to the exploding effect, many houses in and around the region develop cracks, and people are not able to withstand this exploitation of mines, and therefore they are subjected to various difficulties. And the air is always looking contaminated, and they are not able to inhale that, and they have problems such as wheezing, asthma, and so on and so forth. Coal mines release methane, which contribute to environmental issues because it is a greenhouse gas. So greenhouse gas, you might be knowing that it contributes lot of carbon dioxide, and on a large scale they cause the melting of ice cap in polar regions, and therefore the sea level is increasing. And these kind of greenhouse gases has to be avoided at any scale. Some of the mines even release radioactive elements, and these radioactive elements, they cause impotency in human beings, and their future is severely devastated. Every human being in our society has a social responsibility of extending the next generation, but this kind of impotency severely affects this motive. Heavy metals such as sulfur dioxide may be polluted into the air by unsafe smelter operation with insufficient safeguards. So sulfur dioxide is a major pollutant and poisonous in content, and they severely affect the environment, particularly the atmosphere. Gold, which has a key role in our society, is another important factor that contributes for environmental pollution. The gold mining industry is one of the most destructive industry in the world because of all of the toxins that are released into the air. Acid rain and smog are also some side effects of mining. So in Tamil Nadu, the northern part of Madras is called an industrialized area. So even before 20 years, acid rains are witnessed in that region. So because of heavy mines and mineral related operations taking place in that region. Let us discuss the effect on the water resources. Mines, of course, they use a lot of water. Though some of the water is reusable, sulfide containing minerals negatively impact groundwater. So the sulfides are released into the groundwater, and they severely affect the character of the groundwater there. Such pollution is caused from both surface and underground mining. Tailing dam process and waste rock heaps also contribute for acidic drainage water. So they also contaminate the water below the ground. Leftover chemical deposits from explosives are usually toxic and increase the salinity of mine water. So even crackers that we play during Deepavali celebration, they contribute for a kind of pollution. And what scientists are saying is the leftover crackers, if they are mixed with the water, running water of the rainy season, then they also contribute for pollution of water in large scale. In the mining process of sulfides, when they come in contact with the atmospheric oxygen, they get converted into strong sulfuric acid and metal oxides. So in the atmospheric level also a kind of pollution is created, and the process of rain is also affected severely due to such pollutions. By and large, they contaminate local rivers with heavy metals, and people consuming that will be affected by diseases such as cancer or related diseases, which are of very dangerous nature. Now let us discuss the impact of mining on land. There are many environmental concerns about the effects of mining that has on the land. Trees need to be cut down in order to have a mine built, and whole forests could be destroyed. So as I said in the previous classes, these trees contribute as lungs for the earth, and they produce fresh oxygen, and oxygen is very important for the sustenance of human society. So mining activities are usually supported by residential areas that are developed in and around the mines, and to develop these areas also large number of trees are subjected to destruction, and these also cause huge environmental problem. Mining activities also contribute for the erosion of the fertility of the soil, and in the long run it is of a very great danger. The erosion also contributes for the destruction of river banks and change in the water course and the flowing level and so on and so forth, and therefore it has to be severely checked. Despite measures being taken to release the chemical waste into the nearby rivers through pipes, a large amount of chemicals still leak out onto the land and spoil the character and nature of land there. So, without knowing that people inhabit in such land or cultivate in such land, and they get negative results and spoil their health. The organisms that live in the soil find the polluted environment hostile for their survival. So the ecosystem is also damaged on the process of mining. We have in India the Pollution Control Board to check the pollution caused by mining activities, but some of the decisions taken by this Pollution Control Board are not convincing to the social structure of our society. Take for instance industries such as Kodangulam project and this Sterlite project in Thuthukudi. So these two industries, which are said to have severe effect on environment, are just 60 kilometers away from each other. So in between that there are several other industries that also contribute for environmental pollution through mining. Say the Arangadala chemicals is there, and also this Peak fertilizer company is there, and they all contribute for considerable quantum of pollution. And some leaking in this atomic power plant in Kodangulam will cause the extinction of human society in the Tamil country if it is properly understood. So this Kodangulam power plant is releasing hot water into the sea, and the fish resources are severely affected due to such activities. So recently government released the status of cities pertaining to environmental safety, and it advised some cities not to allow crackers because of environmental problem already existing there. In that list we have Thuthukudi region, and Thuthukudi has been supported by Pollution Control Board and other bodies, and also the Sterlite industries themselves. They produce adequate evidence stating that they are not contributing for environmental pollution, but still the environmental hazards are high in Thuthukudi region owing to the copper related mining activity of Sterlite industries, and therefore crackers should not be exploded there. All the polluted water reaches ultimately to the sea, and the fish resources are again spoiled, and the people residing in that region are dependent on these marine resources for food, and their health is highly at risk owing to their pattern practice of consuming such food. Hence, mines are highly damaging to the ecosystems surrounding them. Many different types of mines affect many different types of ecosystems. So, if you take Sharon Mahadevi, where you have the sandpaper mill, they contribute for damaging ecosystem in a separate fashion, as you have a different pattern in Thuthukudi. So these kinds of pollution has to be contained if we are to support mining activities. and in the recent past we have the problem of people opposing the methane exploration project of the central government. So this protecting environment is emerging as a huge movement started by or participated by the people, and therefore this has received the attention of bodies like high courts and supreme courts, and they also show their concern towards the environmental protection issue. With this, my class on this mineral resources is over. Thank you very much.